There are so many pearls of wisdom in Mark Manson's book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck. And one is when he recounts starting up his own business, and he talks really honestly about how anxious and demotivated he felt. And he said that what helped him was recounting what his teacher at school had taught him, which was, don't just sit there, do something, the answers will follow. So he challenges this idea that we have to wait to feel inspired and motivated to take action. He says action isn't just the effect of motivation, it's also the cause of it. So if we wait till we feel inspired, if we wait to feel ready, often we won't take action. And that's what Tony Robbins calls, motion equals emotion. Taking some sort of action usually creates an emotional shift, whether it's going for a walk or starting your day off with exercise or whatever it is that gives you a boost in mood, for example. So he says most of us commit to action only if we feel a certain level of motivation, and we feel motivation only when we feel enough emotional inspiration. We assume that these steps occur in a sort of chain reaction, like this. Emotional inspiration leads to motivation, leads to desirable action. However, he challenges this and says actually, action leads to inspiration, and inspiration leads to motivation. And he sort of coins this with a principle called the do something principle. So if you lack the motivation to make an important change in your life, do something, anything really, and then harness the reaction to that action as a way to begin motivating yourself. So I wonder if you can think of anything that you do in your life that motivates you if you feel lethargic, demotivated, anxious or stressed. He gives a couple of brilliant examples of this from his own life. He said that he spent months feeling anxious and stressed and achieving very little in his work. Gaming and drinking to avoid the pain that he was feeling, really. He said that he quickly learned, though, that forcing himself to do something, even the most menial of tasks, quickly made larger tasks seem much easier. For example, if he had to redesign an entire website, he'd force himself to sit down and would say, okay, I'll just design the header right now. And then obviously after that was done, he would find himself moving on to other parts of the site. And then soon enough he'd feel energized and engaged in the wider project. Apparently Tim Ferriss also talks about a story he once heard about a novelist who'd written over 70 novels. Someone asked him how he was able to write so consistently and remain inspired and motivated, and he said, 200 crappy words per day, that's it. So the idea was that if he forced himself to write 200 crappy words, more often than not the act of writing would inspire him, and before he knew it, he'd have thousands of words down on the page. So again, we don't want to focus on what we're not doing, on failure, we just want to focus on the do something principle. Action builds belief, as an inspiring coach once said, action builds belief. Don't wait till you feel ready to act, take action, and that usually affects a shift in state.